Hello, my name is Brandy Walker, and I am very excited to welcome you all to the UGA Mandela Foundation Civic Engagement and Leadership Development Institute. We are doing a recording because we recognize that there are some technology challenges with various different countries and areas that you're living in. So hopefully this recording will give you a little bit of a brief overview of what to expect and an opportunity for you to give us ask us any questions that you have. We will probably not be able to answer all of your questions, but we will do our best, and we're just really excited to have you join us. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Brandy Walker. I'm coordinating part of the academic program for you folks, and we have Brian Watkins, who's going to take you through some information at the beginning of this presentation. I do want to let you know that if you have program questions, you can email us, and we will all receive this email at ugamandela@uga.edu. I'll repeat that because this is ugly on the screen. ugamandela@uga.edu. Oh, and now it's pretty. So now you can see that one. All right, Brian, take it away.
Next slide. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. I just want to echo Brandy to let you know how excited we are to have you here at UGA. We don't have the time with this presentation to give you a full summary of everything that's going to happen, but what we do want to do is give you just a few words about what to expect about UGA in Athens when you arrive, so you can begin forming a mental image of what you're getting into. We want to spend a few minutes talking about how you're going to get here, and most importantly, how we're going to find you at the airport, which is going to be obviously very critical to a low stress arrival at UGA. And then I do want to spend a couple of minutes to talk about what we are going to expect from you as fellows at the Institute, and what you can expect from us and expect from each other, which is very important, I think, to begin to come into this Institute with a good mindset and knowing how it's going to operate. Athens is a relatively small town, about 100,000 people. So if you're coming from a larger metropolitan area, you're going to see a lot more space, a lot more greenery, a lot less traffic. The average high in July is 33 degrees Celsius. It is going to be hot and relatively humid, so no worries there, but do plan on dressing accordingly. Just a couple words on the people here. Some of you may well have spent time in the U.S. before. For others, this may be your first experience here. By and large, people are going to be very excited to welcome you. You can expect people making small talk with you. It's one of the expectations and understandings of the Institute that you'll take advantage of this hospitality and get involved with the community as much as possible. Don't be afraid to speak up when you talk to people. We are, in general, a very gregarious group here in this part of Georgia. You should just, by way of warning, in terms of the way most Americans approach early conversations, we don't tend to get too much into politics or religion. So small talk will tend to be around things like the weather, where you're from, how are you enjoying the city. So just keep that in mind. It's wonderful to speak up, but in general, keep the conversation light. For those of you who come from places where you drive on the left-hand side of the road, I do want to reiterate, we drive on the right-hand side of the road here in the United States. So when you're crossing the street, you need to make sure you look a different direction. So there's wonderful stories of American tourists going to the UK and getting hit by cars because they look the wrong way. For those of you coming from those countries where you drive on the left, get ready to start looking both ways. Next slide, please. Most importantly, so how are we going to get in touch with you? So when you arrive on the 19th, you'll come into the Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport. If you're landing anywhere else other than Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport, something has gone badly wrong, it's you're going to need to contact us. For those of you who've flown internationally before, you will be well aware of this. Others may not. Coming into the U.S., you may clear customs in Atlanta. You may also, however, arrive to another international airport, clear customs there, and then take a domestic flight to Atlanta. So there's two possible ways for you to arrive. Either way works fine. If you find that you fly into another airport like Detroit or Seattle or JFK, and you are asked to clear customs there, just remember you need to take your bag, go through customs, then recheck your bag on the flight inward to Atlanta. There'll be people there to guide you through that process. Just keep that in mind. So what this means is that you're going to arrive in Atlanta Hartsfield Airport in either one of two places. You may arrive in the international terminal. If you are clearing customs in Atlanta, you will come into the international terminal. If you have cleared customs at another airport and are flying into Atlanta, you will arrive in the domestic terminal. Either way, there will be someone from the Institute, either myself or Lauren McLennan. Say hello, Lauren.
Hi.
One of us will be waiting for you in the domestic terminal south. Let me repeat that. Domestic terminal south near the number 4 baggage claim. In this slideshow, you'll see a little map that has a big red arrow pointing to it. If you arrive in the international terminal, no worries. There is a shuttle bus that departs every 10 or 15 minutes at the curbside out in front of where you pick up your baggage. And you just go out there, you find the bus to the domestic terminal. It will take you right to the domestic terminal. We are in the South Domestic Terminal near baggage claim number 4. So either Lauren or I will be there wearing a red UGA shirt. We'll have a sign with us, and we will be happy to welcome you there. So Athens is about an hour and a half from Atlanta, so we've arranged shuttle buses to take you from the airport to Athens. We will help you get checked in to your dorm. We'll have some food waiting for you. Because the fellows are going to be arriving at different points during the day, you are happy to hang around, take a walk around the campus, but there'll be no formal programming activities that day other than us welcome you at the dorm. Over the next couple of days, you will have a Pecha Kucha presentation, which Brandy's going to talk about in just a second. You will have an administrative orientation, a academic orientation, and a reception here at UGA, where the president, President Moorhead, will be welcoming you to the university. So we'll be in communication closer in time to those events with actual schedules, but that was just to kind of give you a sense of how we're going to connect with you and what you have to look forward to during the first 48 hours. So final word on expectations. So I don't mean any of this to sound aggressive or overly assertive, but it's just important right from the beginning that there's a common understanding about what you can expect from us, what you can expect from each other, and what we expect from you. I've just organized the thoughts. I've broken this down into relationships, respect, and realism. In terms of relationships, I wanted to let you know that we are approaching this institute from the assumption and knowledge and expectation that you are all adults. You'll be treated as adults and be expected to build relationships like adults when you're here. Everything is not going to be handed to you. You will not have pre-arranged meetings with Bill Gates, for example. When you get here, it's going to be really important to take advantage of the introductions that are made and then build on those relationships. And that's how you will come out of this with a developed international network. So building relationships is really going to be your responsibility. Secondly, in terms of respect, there's been a lot of very talented people work very hard over the last 3 months to pull this institute together. Coming on time, participating fully in all of the Institute sessions is a sign of respect to them and the effort that they put into this. And it's a sign of respect for your other fellows, because we certainly are going to expect full participation from each and every one of you. In terms of the way fellows deal with one another, each and every one of you has the right to expect respect from your fellow fellows, regardless of your gender, national origin, or religion. Everyone has a right to have their voice heard, and we may not always agree with what people are saying, but the way we will approach the Institute is that each and every one of you deserve respect from us and from one another. Finally, and this kind of will wrap up my little piece, realism. I've already mentioned that you're not likely to have prearranged meetings with Bill Gates waiting on you when you get here. You are coming to the United States, which is a nation of over 300 million people, $20 trillion gross domestic product. There's a lot going on. And it's not always realistic to expect every potential relationship you could possibly imagine. What we will do, however, is put you in touch with individuals, mentors here who can help you begin to build the relationships that, who knows, one day may lead to those sorts of contacts. And also, in terms of realism, you have to be realistic about yourselves and your own physical capabilities. You are going to arrive here tired. Culture shock is a real thing. As much as we all like to believe that we are seasoned world travelers, after a few days in a strange country, sometimes tempers can get short. Sometimes small problems seem like big problems. And you just have to be realistic that that will be something you will face at one stage or another during the Institute, and that by working through that, keeping a positive attitude, you'll get the most out of the Institute. You have to be realistic about food. You're not going to like every meal you're served here in the United States. We eat a lot of bread here. Not everything will be seasoned or spiced the way you are used to at home. And I know that sounds like a small thing, but the longer you're in a foreign country, the more you start to miss food from home. So just come at it with a good sense of humor in terms of the food, and you who knows, you may find some things, new things that you like. Finally, your accommodations. You have wonderful rooms. We've worked hard to make the environment as welcoming as possible. It's not a palace. You're not here at a 5-star hotel, which is fine. The majority of your activities are going to take place in the classroom and on the road. So as you come here, just understand that you're here to learn. You're here to make professional relationships. You're here to grow your leadership skills and potential, and learn about the culture of the United States. Not to spend your time in your room or eating at buffets, although there will be some of that. So unless anybody else on the team has anything to add to that, that's what I have.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
Sure.
So I am here to share with you a checklist. We are going to start at the bottom of the checklist, which is small items to represent your country and culture for display at an event we're calling Africa in Athens. So this is something we want to make sure that when you are packing, you're mindful of the fact that you're probably going to want to take some things back home with you that you get here. So you want to leave some room in your luggage, and you want to be mindful of the restrictions that IREX has warned you about in terms of cost of extra luggage. So we want to be sure that you're aware of those things. If you can bring small things, any kind of prints, any papers, any small objects that you could display, we would be really excited for you to do that in addition to some cultural dress as well. So Africa in Athens is an event we're going to have on the Saturday of your arrival. And it is going to be a celebration of your culture for you to be able to share with one another, since you're coming from 20 different countries, and to be able to share with our local Athens community. It will be in a common area where a lot of families and groups will be coming through. And so we're really excited for that to happen. We have some students who are serving as volunteers who are helping to gather some information and help set up a display for you. And they'll be getting with you after your arrival to show you what they've come up with, and you can add some small items to that as well. But the star of the Africa in Athens will be you. So we know that you'll be here. So let's talk a little bit about clothing and what to bring. These types of things have been covered from your IREX information, but we want to just reiterate: comfortable walking shoes. There will be walking, and you need the comfortable walking shoes. So keep that in mind, whatever that means to you, comfortable walking shoes. Casual. Most of what we're doing is going to be casual, which means jeans, shorts, t-shirts, etc. However, as Brian mentioned, it is very hot here, but everything is also very air conditioned. This means that you will most likely need a sweater or a shawl or something to help you not have temperature challenges when you're inside in the air conditioning. But you will definitely be hot when you go outside. So be mindful of layers. There will be some opportunities for you to have business casual or even what we might call business formal dress, which would include long pants, trousers, button-down shirt, skirt, dress, tie for men, dress shoes, things like that. And I believe the IREX materials has given you some visuals to think about what that looks like. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us about that. And as I mentioned, that sweater, scarf, or cardigan is going to be very helpful when you are indoors with the air conditioning. Sportswear. We want to let you know that we will be having a football, but we're going to call it soccer because that's what we do in the US, soccer match in July. So if there's anything particularly important that you wear, your lucky socks, your lucky jersey, whatever it is that makes you feel fully functional in your football, AKA soccer event, make sure that you pack that. And a swimsuit if you're interested in taking advantage of hotel pools. And there is a campus pool that you will have access to for a $4 a day charge. Your calendar and schedule that we have for you keeps you pretty busy, but there will be a couple of opportunities if you did want to take advantage of that. And during our travel, there will be pools at some of the hotels. So if that is something that you are interested in, please bring that item of clothing. And as I mentioned earlier, this Africa in Athens event, which we are so excited about, this would be a great opportunity for you to bring traditional dress or clothing made from your own home country, culture, for you to share not only here with us in Athens, but also at the summit in Washington, D.C. at the end of our 6-week program. So those are the types of things that we recommend you bring and pack for clothing. That's checklist. Now, I want to talk to you briefly about your introduction. Thank you very much to everyone. I've received everyone's profile information and photo, so I appreciate that. In that email where I asked for you to send us that profile information, we shared a link to some instructions, a document actually, with instructions on how to prepare your introduction. This is a presentation format called Pechakucha. Some people pronounce it Pachukacha. It's actually a Japanese, there's quite an argument online if you want to look it up on how you pronounce this. And then people who just can't be bothered say PK. So you're welcome to use either of those. PK, Pachakucha, Pachukacha, or that crazy introduction they made me do for the Mandela program at UGA. So this introduction style, it comes from Japan. It actually, that phrase means chit chat. It's a way to combine a creative storytelling technique with a very structured presentation style. This helps democratize. Everyone has the same amount of time. Everyone has the same amount of space. And we're shortening it a little bit so that you only have 15 slides, and those slides need to be images, not words. You will be telling us the story about you, and the images will be the background to that story. Those slides do need to auto advance every 20 seconds. And in the instructions, there are links that help explain how you can set that up in various different slide sharing formats. If you have any challenges with that, please let us know. You do need to come with it complete and ready to go. You need to bring it on a flash drive. It says "or" on the screen, but I want you to make sure you bring it on a flash drive and save to the cloud, just for the backup. So this is something that does need to be complete before you arrive. Let us know if you have any questions, and we are going to roll straight into those introductions first thing in our classroom setting the day after you arrive. So we are very excited for us all to have a common format to be able to share our introductions to one another. I did have a question in an email, so I'll go ahead and mention it here. The introduction is about your journey to this program. That is probably going to be a combination of professional and personal, and that's totally fine. These types of introductions generally bring out a lot of your personal story, which is great for us to be able to start with, but we want you to be comfortable, so share what you're comfortable sharing about your journey, and of course make it fit into the time frame. So the last thing we want to mention is that we would like to have your t-shirt size and the right WhatsApp number for you. When you arrive, we're going to give you a whole lot of things, but one of the things you'll be given is a schedule for your meeting with your mentors, and your mentors want to be able to communicate with you through a WhatsApp group. So we would like your WhatsApp number and your t-shirt size. And now is a chance for you to process all of this information and let us know what kinds of questions you might have that we can answer. There will be far more questions that will be answered once you arrive. Sometimes you just have to experience it to understand it, and that might be the answer to a number of your questions. But if they're more simple, like what to pack, we're happy to answer. Any other things team would like to add?
No, just to repeat that we're really excited to have all of you here, and it's going to be a great institute. I know you're going to learn a lot, and we're going to learn a lot from you.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you.